This is the one pot spaghetti and vegetable mix inspired by With Love Megan. Now, I may not do this as before I even go into it. This is not the one pot spaghetti. This is actually the chicken recipe that Megan did with the South Korean chef. So it's going to be also one of the videos I'll be uploading. So don't miss it out. Just follow and you'll be able to see that was the best chicken, because I've already eaten it. Anyway, so we're going to make the one pot. I found this recipe very interesting because I found it straightforward, easy peasy, and practical for me. I'm not really a fan of noodles and spaghetti, but my kids are. So, as a mom of three, I can tell you that this is practical for me. So here we are. I first started with some onion and garlic oil, and then I added some olive oil, and there we go with the cherry tomatoes in. And yeah, I'm not so generous with them because I don't usually use much, but this time around I had to try to be at par with the recipe. And then here I have actually a garlic that I already waxed on with a garlic oil. So I just prefer to do this than having to always use a fresh garlic. I find it to be cumbersome work. So I just do this to my garlic and then I keep it in a tin, and I find it to be practical. So I go ahead and I simmer that a little bit, and then here we go with our spaghetti. Now I have a little problem here because my spaghetti seem to be longer than my 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 pan. So I'm going to really apologize to the Italians here and whoever invented this and says that we should not break the spaghetti, but I'm going to have to break mine because I have nothing else to do. And there we go. And then I found it quite, like I said, this is all you have to do. Of course, for her recipe, she had vegetables and other different vegetables involved, but I'm not going to do much because my kids are very picky and I'm not doing this for the show. I'm doing this to be eaten. So I'm going to eliminate some of the ingredients, but for those who may want, you can add ingredients like other vegetables in it. For me, I only did what I know that my kids will eat because I will not be able to eat the leftovers. So there we go. I made a mistake. I put a little water. So if you're going to do this, you have to put at least the water almost above, or at least at par with the spaghetti. That would make it better because I had to add water later on at the end of it all. So there we go. Added some salt and it was really cooking so fast. This was under 15 minutes food. So for those who watched the first episode, I must say for me, the first episode, and it's why the second episode were quite. They were interesting. I love the ideas, but I found that these were episodes where Megan had not yet settled in. I thought that she was very careful, and which is natural for her because I mean, she knows that this is an opportunity for her to to just have herself to the world and be hated on once more by her haters. And I must really say that she is very courageous to still have this information, to know that she has a whole lot of haters out there, but still go on and to do this. To me, I see courage. I see someone who is unstoppable, and that is what I take off from With Love Megan, because she could have said, well, I have the prince now, I have the bag, I can now go and hide under a rock. But I know that her haters want her exactly to do this, and she just goes on to show the world that I am here and I have a purpose and I'm going to fulfill it. I'm going to live my life unapologetically. And that is exactly what Megan is doing. And I must say that is also exactly why she is hated. Because whatever she's doing is not any different from what we do or what any other royals do. She is no different. She is just one who is unstoppable, and that is not something that anyone wants to do or wants to deal with. So, Megan, hats out to you. And I want to say, well, this recipe was interesting. By the way, that was cheese that I added on. And like I said in the beginning, I used a little bit of water. And for those who are doing this, it is better you use more water. And I must say, It turned out really great at the end of it all. I enjoyed a full plate of spaghetti. Like I said, I'm no fan usually, but I found this to be really an easy peasy recipe that anyone can do, anyone can enjoy, and can be done for ordinary occasions and also for extraordinary ones. And being the African that I am, we don't forget our Maggi, for our case Royco, the East Africans. So I had to add a bit of Royco there because I want some bit of seasoning in my food. I don't remember what seasoning she used, but this is what I will use because this is friendly to my palate. So there we went. For those who may want maybe more sauce in their stuff, they could have added more water there, but I was happy with this one. And it was really enjoyable at the end of the day. So back to the show. I don't really remember the person who was invited on the first episode where she made this recipe, but I found it quite interesting and I found her tips very useful. And besides this recipe, I also remember this is I think the show where she made some teas and bath. I think some no, she was just giving more tips about hosting a friend or something like that. And I think that was really, really a good idea to watch the show. I love the show especially because I I am not so much a TV fan, and the only TV that I actually watch is home and garden TV. So I found that with Love Megan would easily fit into this type of TV show for me, where I have to sit down and just watch stuff change or how to make stuff. And for me, that is what calms my ADHD, perceived ADHD. So for me, it was perfect. I know that it's not meant for be entertainment, and I think Megan especially didn't intend to entertain anyone. So for those who find the show boring, you are definitely on the wrong show because this was not for entertainment purposes. This was more like a person who just has time on her hands to just share her life and to share her tips with the world.